Presidential election, Adi Roche and Mary BANOTTI rule out a voting pact. A collapse in Hong Kong share prices shocks financial markets around the world. And David Andrews says unionist claims about foreign affairs leaks are outrageous. Good evening, welcome to 6-1. Also on the programme this evening, continuing our interviews with the presidential election candidates. Tonight we'll be talking to Derek Nally.
Home teaching will be provided for two County Leitrim brothers whose parents allege they were the victims of bullies. And in sport, details of the Tour de France itinerary, which will begin in Ireland.
But first, presidential candidates Adi Roche and Mary BANOTTI have ruled out an agreement on transfers with each other and with other candidates in the election. Mary BANOTTI, who's standing for Fine Gael, said she's looking for second preference votes from all the other candidates except Mary McAleese. Adi Roche of the People's Alliance said the presidency is not a trophy for the two main parties.
Flanked by Dick Spring and Prunchis de Rossa, Adi Roche was on the hustings in Henry Street this morning. With the People's Alliance due to meet tomorrow to take a formal decision on the question of a voting pact, today Adi Roche said she was personally against the idea.
I have very serious reservations actually about a pact, and I would prefer to see us using the PR system to its fullest, because I would think that people would resent really the presidency going back to the big parties, and that they would be joining together to gang up really almost in a conspiracy against one another. So I think I would prefer to opt for using the PR system to its fullest.
You know, with a week to go, why have you decided yourself that you think it's not a good idea?
Well, just looking at the way the campaign has gone over the last week and how many of the candidates have been sidelined because of the power struggling that's going on between the two major parties in the Dáil at the moment, which I think is an absolute disgrace. I want to give a very clear message to the parties that this is not a trophy for either of their parties.
In the final days of the last presidential campaign, Fine Gael and the alliance supporting Mary Robinson agreed a voting pact. But that won't happen this time round. This morning, Adi Roche firmly knocked the idea on the head, a move which doesn't appear to have upset Mary BANOTTI, who believes the race for Áras an Uachtaráin is now between herself and Professor Mary McAleese. And campaigning in Carlow today, Mary BANOTTI had her eyes firmly fixed on transfers from Dana, Adi Roche and Derek Nally.
No president will be elected on the first count, and there are candidates with shared values and common ground between us, and I'm asking people to consider very seriously their second preference votes, and of course any of their lower preferences also.
And Mary McAleese, who was campaigning in Athlone today, certainly won't be too upset that the other candidates haven't agreed a voting pact. She said all along she wants votes from wherever they come from. And the two independent presidential candidates, Derek Nally, seen here in St. Stephen's Green today, and Dana, have never been in favour of a pact. And today in Cork, Dana was laying down her own marker.
It's not a two-horse race. PR definitely guarantees that, and I've been referred to in fact as the dark horse, and every Irish election has its surprise, and I want to warn them that I am coming up the inside now.
World's